So after the Nuggets' embarrassing loss against the Washington Wizards, Nikola Jokic said this about his team.
In my country where I'm coming from, after this kind of stretch, you're gonna get a paycheck that is a little bit less than usual. So maybe that's what we need to do,
Now this is absolutely insane coming from a player like Jokic, who never talks much to the media, and when he does, it's never to throw his teammates under the bus. But can you really blame him after losing to the Washington Wizards, who were coming in on a 16-game losing streak? I mean, personally, if I was Jokic, I'd be upset. He is arguably having the greatest season that an NBA player has ever had, and his team is barely over 500. There is a clear roster problem in Denver, and Jokic has honestly had enough. And I know this might come as a surprise for some people, but if you've been following the Nuggets for the last couple years, you know they have kind of depleted this roster after winning their championship, losing Bruce Brown and KCP in back-to-back years. But the Nuggets were so good in 2021, and it looked like they were on the path for a dynasty. I mean, Yokic was young, and Jamal Murray had just kind of entered his prime. The stars were really aligning for the Nuggets, and I personally was the person that thought, hey, the Nuggets might be the best team in the NBA and repeat last year. But after losing KCP, I told everyone this year, hey, this team just doesn't have it. Despite that, Nikola Jokic still might be able to will this team into conference finals if he really wants to. To put into perspective how good Jokic has really been this year, watch this video.
I know his team is on the struggle bus, but where do his numbers right now rank amongst MVP seasons? Jokic is averaging this, 32.3 points per game. More points than Michael Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe's MVP seasons. He is averaging this, 13.6 rebounds per game. More rebounds than Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, my GOATs, and Charles Barkley's MVP seasons. You guys know I'm from Houston, so don't take that too personal. And then lastly, the Joker is averaging 10.2 assists per game. More assists than James Harden and LeBron's MVP season.
So he is second in points per game, which is a career high. He leads the league in rebounding. He is second in assists per game, which is also another career high for him. And he also is sixth in steals in the NBA, which is the side of the basketball that people always criticize Jokic for. And let's not forget that he might have just had the greatest 24 hours of an NBA player we've ever seen. I mean, he put up 104 points, 30 rebounds, and 16 assists in 24 hours. It's crazy to think that Jokic, who we've always put as one of the greatest MVPs off number-wise, is arguably better than his other three MVPs and really should be the front runner for the fourth MVP this year. And you could even say maybe unanimous. Like, he has really been that good. To be fair, I feel like I'm everybody else when it comes to Jokic and his stats. At times I just look at what he's doing and I'm like, oh, that's Jokic, he's supposed to be doing that. But it's really mind-boggling if you just look at it. I mean, just look at this dude's numbers, bro. 32 points per game, 13.6 rebounds, 10.2 assists, and 1.8 steals a game. Now, this is a quick side note. I think that his teammate, Russell Westbrook, actually ruined the ideas of a triple-double in the NBA, because we're looking at a guy who's averaging a triple-double through minus like 20-something games, and we're just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Averaging a triple-double is hard. Let's not act like it is easy. It's hard to do. But let's look at these last couple games. 48 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. 56 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. Mind you, they lost this game, which we're going to get into. 27 points, 20 rebounds, 11 assists. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. 28 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. I mean, we can go on. These numbers are crazy. And he's been doing this for a while. I mean, he missed some time for, I think he had a kid. Well, he didn't have a kid. His wife had a kid. But yeah, Jokic has been insane this year, and honestly, it's a shame that the Nuggets are ruining it. Like, for him to have 56 points, which is a career high, on a triple-double, and you still lose to the worst team in the NBA, there's some serious red flags that need to go up for the Denver Nuggets. Now, I get they're missing plays, but I still don't think that's an excuse to lose to a team like the Washington Wizards. So the Nuggets have been bad all years, but I want to give it 3 reasons why I think the Nuggets are bad right now. 1, they cannot shoot the 3. In the league now, you have to be able to shoot. Look at all the top teams in the league and look at who shoots the most threes. There's probably a correlation there. If you can't shoot threes, you just can't survive in this league. Nuggets right now rank 26 in 3-pointers made. Second, they can't defend. They rank 8th worst in points allowed in the NBA right now, so they can't make a 3. In the other end, they're just allowing anybody to get a bucket. Also, I think they're one of the worst teams defending the 3. And number 3, they have not yet solved the Nikola Jokic off the court minutes, which has been an issue for the Nuggets for years, and it has only become worse. When he is on the court, they look like one of the greatest teams we have ever seen offensively. But when they are off the court, they look like one of the worst teams we have ever seen offensively. It is a night and day difference with Nikola Jokic on the court and Nikola Jokic off the court. And this has been a problem, like I said, for the Nuggets for a while, even when they won the championship in 2023. And they haven't done it any justice with this roster that they have this year. The Nuggets decided to go younger, and they didn't really want to go over the salary cap. Now, this is a team historically has never really paid a lot in luxury tax and usually has stayed a little bit on the cheaper side, and they did that again. They let Bruce Brown walk, they let KCP walk, they left Jeff Green. I think Reggie Jackson's gone too. Now you're relying on younger guys like Peyton Watson to step up, which is fine, but it's the reason why you're in this predicament right now where the Denver Nuggets just don't look that good. And another big issue for this team is their bench. Right now, they have one of the worst benches in the NBA, scoring 25.3 points a game.
What I think the problem is, I think Denver kind of took for granted some of the role players that they did have. When you let a Jeff Green go, when you let a Bruce Brown go, you let a KCP go, those are glue guys that can get you to championships like they did. And now when you allow those guys to go and leave in free agency, that leaves that gap. Like Chandler just mentioned, besides Russell Westbrook, and Watson can play better off the bench, but who do they have that's going to give them that scoring punch that they need?
With your bench being this bad is why you need a guy to come off your bench that can give you a bucket anytime you need, or have a second star to come play when Jokic is out. And in theory, the Nuggets have both of those things. For one, off the bench, they signed Russell Westbrook, who has been up and down. And as a Laker fan, I know there are nights where Russ looks great. He looks like he's almost MVP Russ. And there's other nights you question why is he still playing basketball. That's just kind of how Russell Westbrook is at this point of his career. So you don't know where you're going to get from him every other night, but you can't rely on him to be your sole guy when Jokic is out, which is why they have Jamal Murray. Now, Jamal Murray, I personally have never been super high on, but what he is doing this year is really hurting the Denver Nuggets. He's playing so bad that it has someone like me even asking, what in the world happened to Jamal Murray?
With them losing Caldwell Pope and trying to add so much youth into this lineup, like, he has to elevate his game.
Perk is absolutely right in this clip. Murray's supposed to be the guy who can create his own shot. It's kind of similar to the Milwaukee Bucks when they won their championship, when they had Giannis, and the guy who would create his own shot whenever needed was Chris Middleton, and sometimes they relied on him in the fourth quarter. That's kind of what Denver has been doing with Jamal Murray. I mean, famously, Murray took the Lakers out with back-to-back game win. Well, not back-to-back, but he hit 2 game winners in that series to win. That's who Jamal Murray has been for this team, and this year he just hasn't been that guy. And it makes it worse because you just gave him a big ascension in the offseason. He wasn't really good for Team Canada, and now he's coming in and Jamal Murray is averaging 16 points a game. He's not even your second leading scorer. He's getting beaten out by Michael Porter Jr. And no slight to Michael Porter Jr., he's a bucket, but that's not the role that you have for Jamal Murray. He is supposed to be your second guy, not Michael Porter Jr. I mean, simply put, his numbers are not good enough with a deflated Nuggets roster for them to even be somewhat competitive. He's going to have to find a way to elevate his game. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what he needs to add, but something's not working right now. Everyone has you figured out, and this isn't going to work out if you want the Denver Nuggets to be any type of competitive this year. Now, with all this going on, we are in NBA Cup week where there's not a lot of games, so there's a lot of trade rumors going on, and I haven't seen much about the Denver Nuggets, and well, that's mainly because the Denver Nuggets don't have much to trade.
In my list of teams with the draft assets, they rank in the bottom. Ooh. They have no first-round pick they can trade. They have 1 second-round pick.
They have a pick in 2026, which is a first rounder. They have their first round pick in 2028. They have the first round pick in 2030, and they've had their first round pick in 2031. That's really it. Outgoing picks. I mean, they lost their 2025 pick, their second round pick in 2025. I mean, they have no pick in next year's draft at all. Their 2026 draft, second round pick is gone. They have no pick in 2027. It's just, I don't know where this all went. I'd have to go find out where all these trades happen, but you don't really have any picks. And then all your guys, I do think you have some younger guys who maybe could trade, but other than that, there's not a lot of flexibility with this Denver Nuggets roster. And honestly, the Denver Nuggets are who the Denver Nuggets are going to be. Now, I do think there's hope. Like I said, just beginning of the year, what I said in almost the last couple of videos, and it's almost getting to the point where I ain't saying beginning of the year. I'm about to be like, hey, we're almost halfway through and y'all need to pick it up. But like I said, it's still a little early in the season. I think if you can have Jamal Murray turn it around and you start attempting more threes. I think they're dead last in three-pointer attempted this year, which is crazy to me. You need to attempt more threes. Jokic is attempting a career high in threes right now because he has to. it's almost like Jokic is playing so good that because he knows I literally have nothing to work with. It's like, if you were really nice at basketball growing up, you know that like the PE teacher would grab you and be like, hey, you're gonna run with all these guys right here, like that don't really get picked, and you're gonna have to go win. And like, you overcompensate, you do more like than you ever do. You're shooting crazy jumpers, you're double team, fading away, you're doing all this crazy stuff because you know you have to do everything to win. That's how I feel how Jokic feels right now with the Denver Nuggets. Like, he is absolutely doing everything. I give all credit to him. He is hooping. He's putting up numbers, which is just mind-blowing to me. And it's really disheartening that the Nuggets just aren't really there to help him out. I think a good amount of this blame does need to go on Jamal Murray because, yes, the bench is bad, but, you know, if you have a good 1-2, you can make up for a really bad bench, especially when you have the best player in the NBA. You can make up for a bad bench. But anyways, that's all I have. I hope you guys are having a great day. Let me know how your team's doing in the comments. And as always, God bless. Thank you guys for watching the video. It means a whole lot to me. At the end of all of my videos, you might know that I always say God bless. And that is because I want to give all glory to Jesus Christ for everything I do. And something that's been on my heart and been calling to me is to share a little bit of my word before these videos end. So if you don't believe in Jesus, that's fine. You can click off. I still love you and hope you have a great day. But if you don't mind, let me just take 1 minute of your time to read a little bit of word from 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. I just want to say this. No matter how you feel, no matter how you think you look, no matter what the world is saying about you, just know that God is looking at your heart and God loves you and he doesn't care about what the world has to say about you because he knows who you are and he looks at your heart. You guys have a beautiful one. I love you. And as always, God bless.